Welcome back to Definitely Not Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And we're just a feisty couple in love that loves to get Fight Night Friday. And so for this Fight Night Friday, we're checking out Tekken 7, all the cutscenes for that. And so yeah, that's what this is about.
All right.
And if you want more of our Fight Night Fridays, go ahead and check out the description of this video. We got a playlist there for you, and then also a link to our Instagram where you can check out some more Fight Night Friday, and you get to pick the winner.
Yeah.
I remember receiving my first letter from my son a few years back.
Aww.
Scribbled on it were the words, "I love you." I was so happy I cried. At the time, I believed that love was all anyone needed. For some years now, I've been investigating a certain father and son. And I managed to get a hold of the first letter the boy wrote to his father. It said,
I will kill you.
"Father, one day, I will tear you to pieces."
Yes.
Awesome.
That sets it up very nicely.
It really does.
Oh! You can do cry about it. Try getting your next life. Why can't they make the player do it? Throw him off. An assassin with Assassin's Creed, almost.
Yeah, it did.
As leader of the Mishima Zaibatsu, Jin Kazama plunged the world into war. He sent the human race to hell, all so he could save it.
God complex.
Fear and hatred enveloped the globe, filling it with despair. Just as Jin predicted, Earth's despair awoke Azazel, an ancient beast sealed deep underground because of its threat to humanity. Jin defeated Azazel in battle and saved the planet. But could the world really be considered saved? The war that Jin began has now evolved into a battle between the Mishima Zaibatsu and G Corporation. One which has kept the wheels of turmoil spinning day after day. It's winner take all, and the prize is world domination. Jin, the one who started everything, has gone missing in the Middle East. His whereabouts remain unknown, but his disappearance has tipped the scales in G-Corp's favor.
エリア E2031 にて救難信号を受信。国連軍のヘリからと思われます。我々が数日前まで当初を捜索していたエリアの近くです。
Increase surveillance. If a UN soldier so much as sneezes, I want to know.
了解。近隣の町もチェックさせます。
久しぶりよのこの場所に立つ。陣を失った財閥が混乱する様子が手に取るようにわかるわい。
I know which one you're choosing.
If there were demons in this world, what form would they take? The answer to that question still eludes me. That day, I was reporting from a battlefield, gathering news about the war to bring to the world. When I headed back to the barracks, a message was waiting for me. I was dumbstruck. How could my hometown have come under attack? When I returned, nothing was as I remembered. The roads used to be quiet, hardly a car in sight. But now tanks and armored vehicles line the streets like an iron wall. Though it was noon, a thick fog of ash enveloped the sky in darkness. The blackened trees, the burning ground, the pungent, burnt air. The place I once called home was now just an ashen field. And streets echoed with the memories of playing children and delivery trucks. Everyone I loved had been lost to the past. That day, my old life ended, and a new one began. In my loneliness and despair, a hatred grew inside me.
Everyone I loved was lost to the past. It's a sad line, but it's a good line.
Mm-hmm.
Very put.
They look like an army of Ant-Man.
遺跡周辺は全て捜索しましたが、生体反応はなし。やはり当主はもう
Yes.
G 社の攻撃も激化しております。
当主が不在の今、いち早く体制を整えねば。
You guys found something.
Something found you.
Who's there?
Cool elevator.
What are you doing? Catch him, quick!
Bigger.
Did you just kick that thing?
Yeah, he did. You punched it. You're a badass. Kick a missile.
Pain in the neck.
I want to see her in action.
Yeah.
Like she's gonna be badass. And she only needs to kick a missile to prove it.
これだけか。わしの出迎えにしては少々物足りんの。
Nice.
What do you want now, Heihachi and Mishima?
Go, Nina!
知れたこと財物を取り戻しに来たに決まっておろう
Oof.
「ジンが消息不明である今三島財閥を立て直せるのはわしを置いて他におるまい」
She's like, bitch, please.
貴様には早速働いてもらうぞ。久しぶりだな、全世界の諸君。わしがここに映っている意味がわかるか。見よ、三島財閥は再び我が手に戻った。ということはもうわかるであろう。全世界の格闘家たちに次ぐザ・キング・オブ・アイアンフィストトーナメントの開催をここに宣言する。
Excuse me, sir. Just now, Heihachi
知っている。ヘハチ。やはり生きていたか。
Why on earth would you want to hold a tournament now, like this?
説明は後じゃ。出立の準備をせい。おたおたするな。見ておれ。間もなくすべての部隊が整う。
I found myself staying in a cheap hotel. Reports on the hellish war never let up. News of Heihachi's return to the Mishima Zaibatsu had sent shockwaves across the globe, and the announcement of the King of Iron Fist tournament flooded the airwaves day and night. But none of that mattered to me. From my drab room, I just stared up at the moonlit sky, looking for a ray of hope. The concept of evil seemed so vague. Who torched my hometown? The Mishima Zaibatsu? Or was it G Corporation? With the war submerged in chaos, who could tell? In the darkness, a fellow reporter visited me and offered me a ray of hope in the form of an expose on G Corporation. G Corp were at war with the Mishima Zaibatsu, and it appeared that they had the public on their side. People believed that the Zaibatsu had started the war, so it was only natural that they saw G Corp as their saviors. However, my reporter friend came into my hotel and, barely able to contain his excitement, presented me with the picture. It revealed G Corp's true colors, which conflicted with their public image. The picture shed light on the incident that had occurred only a few months earlier.
Who's the mysterious reporter?
I don't know, but he's such a writer, like, in the darkness. The concept
Yeah.
of evil was vague. With the music under it, too.
Yeah.
Intense eyebrows he's got. Look at that. Eyebrows are a hairstyle unto themselves.
Ooh, that's nice teamwork.
They're totally destroying the place. Well, that's payback.
Yep. There's double cross by the sun.
Whoa!
Oh!
Jesus.
Okay, so that's why they thought he was dead.
Good reason.
Mm-hmm.
この代償はきっちり払ってもらうぞ。
It all started with an explosion in the heart of the Mishima estate. At the time, the media reported it as an unfortunate accident. But when strange truths began to come to the light, things didn't appear quite so clear-cut. After the explosion came the deaths of a number of G Corporation's executives. The newspapers put it down to a coincidence, a series of tragic occurrences. But the truth was far more sinister. In reality, an attempt by G Corporation to take out one of their own had failed. And the man they had targeted came baying for revenge. The missed target's name was Kazuya Mishima. After disposing of the guilty parties without so much as dirtying his hands, Mishima began to manipulate G Corporation from the shadows.
A serious marksman? Says here they're based in Italy. A society of exorcists who've historically held influence throughout Europe. What are you planning this time?
ジンが財閥を使ってめちゃくちゃしよったからな。世界を掌握するためには、カズヤを倒すだけでは意味がない。世界中の世論を味方につけねばならん。
Surely you can't be planning on using the society's underground network?
G 社のトップがデビルであることが知れ渡れば、晴れて人間であるわしの正当性を主張できる。今回の大会はその格好の宣伝の場となるじゃろう。間もなくじゃ。
I love the music in the scenes.
Raiding their
That was so
HQ
fitting.
for not returning your calls. You're quite the negotiator.
打って響かぬならねじ伏せるまで当然の対応じゃ。
If you say so.
These are spy versus spy guys?
Hey, but they're in like fedoras. Makes it more fun.
そんなおもちゃではわしは倒せん。
Sei venuto di persona. Allora è vero ciò che si dice sul tuo conto, Heihachi.
貴様が最強のエクソシスト、クラウディオか。
Mi sembrava di aver declinato la tua offerta. I cacciatori Sirius sono unici al mondo e siamo sempre stati indipendenti. Non intendiamo metterci al servizio dei capricci di qualche corporazione.
Good for
Like
you.
him.
それは貴様の事情だ。わしの事情ではない。くだらん交渉は終わりじゃ。わしがここにじきじき参った意味、分かっておろう。
Se è così, escogitare un'altra soluzione per farti ragionare. Tu sei un umano con la forza di un demone.
そうじゃ。わしは正真正銘人間様だ。しかしわしの息子和也は違う。
Questo demone, vuoi davvero opporti a un simile abominio?
じゃから再三通告したはず。わしとお前の目的は同じ。共にデビル討伐を目論むものじゃと。
You do not
拳
seek
で
the
の
same
決
thing.
着はついた。貴様には世論の先導に一役買ってもらうぞ。
Oh, dude, be careful.
He's a different kind of devil you're making a deal with.
Day in, day out, I found myself at the library, poring over articles. Company directories, history books, you name it. I scavenged them all, looking for anything I could find on G Corporation's Kazuya, including his historical and familial links to the Mishima Zaibatsu. The truth had to be revealed, even if it meant doing so alone. The Mishimas were warriors hailing back as far as the Taira and Minamoto eras. With the advent of World War, they capitalized on the increased military demand. During my research, I came across two significant names. The first was Jinpachi Mishima. Head of the Mishima clan during the war, he abhorred needless conflict and reacted accordingly against the organization's military expansion
Awesome.
by resolving instead to devote his family's legacy solely to martial arts. However, all that changed when Heihachi wrested control of the family helm, proceeding to rename the organization the Mishima Zaibatsu. As its head, Heihachi secured its reputation as a world-leading military firm. Which brings us to the second name, Jin Kazama. Seizing control from Heihachi, he reigned over his empire until only recently. He was also the one who started this damn war, which took everything from me. I dreamed of one day killing him with my bare hands.
Okay.
Yeah, there really are no heroes in this story.
I mean, I feel most bad for him. He was damaged as a child by his crazy dad.
What's his grandfather?
Or his
Jin
grandfather.
Kazama.
And then Kazuya is...
So che il suo demone interiore supera perfino quello di Kazuya. Un momento. Chi fosse lui?
Do you know something?
Ci hanno riferito che un essere disumano è apparso in Estremo Oriente.
人間とは思えぬか。確かに奴は得体の知れぬ化け物じゃ。
So that means Jean is...
どこにいようと構わん。とにかく何としてでも見つけ出し、ここに引っ立ててくるのじゃ。
Let me know how that goes for you. Even Nina's not good. I mean, I think she's biding her time, but...
But she's also like playing all sides and stuff.
Everything's
Exactly.
clear. En route to
Get
the
ahead.
United Nations HQ. Roger that.
Whoa. He just turned into Cyclops or something? There's our Assassin's Creed camera.
Yeah, multi-hair.
Freeze!
He's gonna regret that. I wouldn't touch him if I were you. Cool, first person perspective.
I see him! That way! Hands on the ground now! Do it!
Oh, nice! Good entrance.
So who did it?
Jax.
Who are you?
Lars, I guess.
Okay. Also with the crazy hair.
Mm-hmm.
They all got crazy hair.
Yeah.
I wonder how much hair gel that family goes through.
Interesting. Wasn't trying to hurt him. She shot their feet.
He's a good driver too.
Yeah, we need that bright slick entrance.
中東にて風間陣の姿を捉えました
Is that Lars?
I think she has a thing for him.
ヤスもジンを狙っていたのか
Things just got a whole lot more complicated.
すぐさま追跡部隊を向かわせます
No, there's no point. We'll have to stay one step ahead.
Ma se l'essere disumano in Estremo Oriente non era Jin, chi era? O cosa era?
Akuma?
Damn.
I think he's in the game. I think Akuma's in Tekken 7. Even though he's Street Fighter.
This lead sent me on a
That'd be
journey
cool.
through countless documents, where I finally found her name in a single paragraph, Kazumi Hachijo. There was no mention of what kind of life she and Heihachi had led together, but it confirmed that Heihachi was Kazuya's father and Kazumi his mother. That's when I realized something shocking. The year Heihachi seized control from Jinpachi and established the Zaibatsu was the same year his wife Kazumi had died,
Dick.
and Kazuya had fallen from a cliff, sustaining terrible injuries.
Yes,
You
fallen.
think
What could all this mean?
that his dad is a power-hungry asshole?
He fell off the cliff when his father threw him up.
Yeah. See, that's why I have a hard time blaming him, because, like,
Yeah, Kazuya.
when your dad does that to you, you're kind
We
of
have a
irreversibly
handle on
screwed up.
Heihachi Mishima's movements. It appears he is conducting a thorough search for Jin Kazama.
ジンを使う気か作戦の準備を急がせろ
Frustration had become a part of my daily life. Eventually, I ran into a guy in a restaurant.
Cool shoes.
His eyes burned with an almost ungodly fighting spirit. And he looked at me as though he could see the darkest depths of my soul. So, you're the one who's been looking into the Mishima Zaibatsu's affairs? He said before making his way to the exit. The way he stared at me from the door let me know that he wanted me to follow him. Hypnotized, I walked slowly towards him. As we left the restaurant, he formally introduced himself. His name was Li Chaolan.
That was jarring.
助けた恩を蹴りで返すとはとんだじゃじゃ馬ぶりだ
助けたここは
Where did her head go?
なぜここに
記憶システムがまだ正常でないようだと。
不審者を確認。排除します。
Oh, damn.
やれやれ。
She's cool.
ことはしたくないのだがね。
Yep.
少し予定が狂ってしまったが、起動テスト完了だ。今の刺激で記憶システムもまともになったのではないかな。
まさかあなたは。変な社長さんの
Creepy CEO.
変なは余計だが、
Just as redundant.
あとリー・チャオランだ。まあ思い出してくれて光栄だ。
でもなぜあなたが私を。私は一体。
なるほど。完全回復とまではいかなかったか。
I already knew about Lee Chaolan's company, Violet Systems, famous for its humanoid research and brilliance in the field of ergonomics. As a child, Lee had been adopted by Heihachi Mishima, so he knew Kazuya of G-Corp and once shared a rivalry with him in the ring. I listened intently, excited about this new breakthrough. Lee's knowledge went beyond that of any article I had read. What he said next, though, unsettled me.
君は悪魔の存在を信じるかい?
He continued.
すべてはカズヤだ。奴の血が三島家を狂わせた。かな？何か思い出したかい？君がここに来た理由も、君が一緒にいた男のことも思い出せないか？
マスターだった風間陣の命令である男の人と戦ったことは覚えてるんです。それまでにたくさんの戦いをしてきたことも。でもその人がどんな人だったかは全く。涙がどうして？
今君の目に溢れているのはその男に会いたいという強い思いさ。人と同じね。
人と同じ。
泣いている乙女を放っておくなど私の美学に反する。君を彼の居場所へ案内してあげよう。
本当ですか？
ああ、お出かけの時間だ。
Gonna be a catch.
That would probably have something to do with it.
適正の生体反応を確認。これは鉄拳臭。
やれやれ、無断侵入と。
兄さん。
Oh, she's gonna go to work.
Yeah. We're trying to shoot Tinkerbell.
She's like Iron Man Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
Dude,
he took down one guy. She took down like 10.
So I got the rest.
こっちだ、リクさん。
はい。
わしが犬間に鉄拳衆の質も落ちたものよの。失敗すれば次はないと思え。
I'll have to handle this myself. Do you have the target in your sights?
捕捉できています。
Prepare the SWAT team. I'm going in.
Dear diary.
私が三島家を追放された本当の理由は和也の悪魔じみた力に気づいたからではないかと思っている。
I could tell by the look in his eyes that he was telling the truth. A few days later, I headed to Kyoto. The old guy I'd contacted was already waiting for me at the rundown house where we'd arranged to meet. I'd like to know more about the mystery of the Hachijo household strength. I decided to be straight up, which seemed to knock the old-timer back. I didn't believe in devils, had no reason to. But Lee had said to me that Kazuya's blood, the archived account on the Hachijo who Heihachi's wife Kazumi belonged to. I arranged to meet a guy who'd served the Hachijo family many years ago. If Kazuya had inherited Kazumi's blood, then maybe this guy could help me. But my efforts were in vain. The old man knew nothing. Then, when I thanked him and was made to leave,
そこのお兄さん、そこの毛、そこの毛、赤い川では水遊び、川が流れた先にもお兄さん、どこまで続くや、この鬼遊び。
he sung slowly. It was a traditional nursery rhyme in the Hachijo family. When I heard it, I froze. What if the demon represented a mysterious power? Red referred to blood, and the river symbolized a bloodline. As the old man hummed on, I shook my head in horror.
He was able to piece a lot together from that song.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there he is.
何者じゃ。
我は剣を清めし者なれ。
ほう。ならば言葉はいらんな。
これも定め。
Oh, badass.
Nice.
Ci hanno rifano è apparso in Estremo Oriente.
まさか。ジャック6、貴様 G 社の
何のことだ。
Damn. I think they did.
誰だこいつは。
He's not registered in our database.
Oh, they're gonna play it side by side? Damn, yeah!
Akuma's so cool.
I know, he is so cool.
貴様なかなかやるではないか。名を名乗れ。
我が名は豪輝。 和美殿の願いに従い、うぬと三島和也に死をもたらす者。
平八さんを殺してください。そして和也のことも。
すべては和美殿の願い。
何？和美じゃと？
She wanted
和美が貴
her
様
husband
に
and son dead?
わしと和也を殺すよう依頼しておったじゃと？はバカバカしい。その話が本当ならなぜ今頃になって現れた？
うぬらが力を持つまで待っておっただけのこと。
Great answer.
和美殿との約束果たそう。
Oh!
めっそ。ネイフへ落ちろ。
Hell awaits you. Badass shot.
Explosion confirmed at the Mishima dojo. We've lost sight of Heihachi Mishima.
まさか母が平八と俺を殺そうとしていただと？
Yeah, see, dude, you are so messed up.
Yeah.
とんだ茶番だ。
He's taking that well.
それにしてもあの男、何か気のような力を放っているのか。
The minute I got back from Kyoto, I learned that the war had escalated further. The world's media was buzzing with news about the Zaibatsu, including the attack on Lee's Violet systems. It was then that I received an email from Lee himself, saying he wanted to introduce me to someone who was well versed in the Mishima Zaibatsu's affairs. At last, my investigation was back on track. The email concluded with a name I'd yet to come across. Lars Alexanderson.
こんな場所にラースという人がいるのですか？
私は三島財閥から離脱した反乱軍を密かに支援していてね。各地にこのような施設を提供しているのさ。止まれ。やれやれ、スポンサーに銃を向けるとは。相変わらず物騒だな君は。
リー警戒はするに越したことはないのでね。アリサ、まさか治ったのか？
ああ。
ラース、やっと会えました。
感動の再会、まさにエクセレント。
I don't know that guy's in game.
Me neither, but I just tend to distrust everyone in this.
I know, right?
確保したジンの状況は
もう丸2日目覚めていない。アザゼルとの戦いのダメージは計り知れないようだ。
なるほど。ところで、君はジンを奪ってどうするつもりなのかな？国連の諜報組織を敵に回してまでジンを必要とする理由があるのだろう？
それは
多数の生体反応を確認。鉄拳集です。
嗅ぎつかれたか？
私も行きます。
これを使え。
了解。排除します。
Yeah.
Well, that's a big gun. She's definitely not messing around.
Oh, so the other guy's probably going up to, because he knows Nina's gonna come to the back door. Ooh, guess not.
Her and Nina.
Mm-hmm. Oh! Oh, sweet! It's just like...
Jesus! Oh no!
Fire the target. Be quick.
Boom.
Ooh, sweet little dodge though. She learned from Piccolo.
Mr. Piccolo, why didn't you dodge?
Not so fast.
Ah.
確かに受け取ったよ。これよりプラン E を実行する。総員待機。
That's clever.
それでは諸君、いい夢を。
It's gonna blow you up. You better get the hell out of there, Nina.
I don't know if Nina made it.
All right, so that seemed like a good place to stop. One, because our dog had to go out and pee anyways. What do you think so far?
I'm really enjoying it. It's great getting this insight into Tekken. We've touched on a little bit of the story and the lore before, and that's been hugely helpful to understanding and being invested in the fights themselves in the game, because I think when we first checked them out, it was a little bit hard for me to latch onto it or to find a reason to care. But then the story of the father and the son, and now getting these different characters and everything, gives me reason to care in an odd way, because there's not necessarily anybody who's particularly likable.
So far, yeah.
So it's kind of like watching Succession. If any of you have watched that out there, you're sucked into it the same way that like people get sucked into seeing a car wreck on the side of the road. Like, it's awful and you should look away because like all these people are terrible to each other, but for some reason you just need to know what's going to happen next. And that's kind of how I look on Tekken at the moment. I have not found that person where I'm like, oh, like this is that great person who I'm going to cheer for. It's not so much that. It's more just like, okay, this person's a little more evil than the next one, so like I want to see him get his ass kicked.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I mean, some of the fight scenes we've seen are really cool. Obviously, the Kuma one was great. And I mean, Kuma's in Street Fighter, but still.
Yeah. But he's awesome in this.
Yeah, he's awesome in this. And I mean, I don't know. I'm hopefully we'll learn more about why the mom had asked Akuma, like, who was Akuma to her? What's the connection there? Like, did she like pray to some, I don't know, being, and like, you know, it's like he answered or whatever.
He's like, I give you a Street Fighter.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what that's all about. I'm fascinated by Nina's character, just because she's hot. No,
definitely what I was thinking.
Yeah. It's, I mean, let's be honest. No, because like the no loyalty sort of thing, but at the same time, like is she like only loyalty is like to the corporation? Is she just like the benefits with the job, you know, good healthcare? I get that. So I'm curious about her. I hope she's not dead. Hope she can just get exploded. But we've seen people, you know, blow up in buildings before in this, and they've been fine. So
I would like to know what technology they have that keeps protecting them from being in the middle of an explosion and walking away unscathed.
Yeah.
And I'm interested with Nina as well. I keep waiting for her to have that Black Widow moment.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is like Black Widow will be very smart. She's a spy. She will seem to play all sides up until that moment when you find out that she's really on the side of good, and her role has been pivotal to like saving everything.
But in true Tekken fashion, I'm not waiting for her to be like good. I'm just waiting for her to like seize the moment and like take her, I don't know, slice of the pie or whatever it might be, like, you know, whatever she ultimately wants. I'm just waiting for her to like, you know, turn the table and then like and get that, like, you know, she gets the control of the corporation or something like that.
Well, and all of these characters seem most interested and invested in either power or revenge.
Yeah.
So far we haven't seen a desire for revenge per se, but as like the second in command for the company who is willing to trade out leaders the way like women change out their shoes, it seems like power would be what I would say is probably her ultimate goal, because
Yeah.
The loyalty is just not there, and she'll do whatever it takes to retain her status within the company. So I think she's waiting to seize her moment to be first in control.
And I like the style of, having the reporter in there, kind of, it's an interesting way to give backstory and, exposition to the uninitiated like us who might be, checking out Tekken for the first time, to get a little bit more of that history in it without, it being, I don't know, boring or something like that, or like, or dry, I should say, is a better word for it.
It's like we get these Hollywood action movie clips and like fight game clips, and then interspersed between them are like these introspective film noir diary entries. It's a very different style, so it gives a nice what's the word?
Juxtaposition.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. It gives a nice juxtaposition, and it helps it to not be kind of overwhelming in one note. Like I think that's been my biggest challenge with watching some of the fight scene clips and games that we've looked at and trailers, is that like some of the compilations will be 20 minutes straight of in-your-face fighting, a lot of it repetitious. And so it like becomes difficult to latch on to a particular fight or a character or a move if you haven't played the game or know the full backstory of the lore and so are invested in it.
Fair.
Whereas like this, it's like, okay, here's this awesome fight. Here's why you should care. Here's another awesome fight. And here's why you should care. And to the layman's like me, that really helps.
All right, let's go on.
Let's do it.
まさか最初から敵をわざとあそこへおびき寄せて爆破する作戦だったのか。
無事にジンも運び出せた。異論はないはずだ。
Fair.
Yep.
修繕費は三島財閥に利子をつけて払って。
This guy's probably the next most interesting to me, Lee.
無用さ。
Because he's just an enigma?
お前にはまだやってもらわなければならないことがある。
What do you need him for?
こんなところで終わらせるわけにはいかないんだ。
What do they hope to achieve by sheltering Jean? This could be interesting to watch.
Lars Alexanderson was younger than I expected. When Lee described him to me, of how he'd escaped, divided the Tekken force, and formed a rebel army, I imagined someone completely different. His eyes told a story of sadness hidden deep within. The sterile air of Violet's systems, where he and Lee were holed up together. Lars explained to me that he was Heihachi's illegitimate child.
Ah, there it is.
Heihachi had fathered him to cast aside all doubt that he had the devil gene in his blood.
So you were like an experiment.
Lars
basically.
existed solely for that purpose.
That's depressing.
I could barely contain my excitement at not only meeting a blood relative, but also at learning this revelation. While Lars and Lee conversed, I overheard something that shocked me. Jin Kazama had been found. Jin Kazama, Kazuya's son and Heihachi's grandson. The hatred I had held deep inside surged through my veins like a tidal wave. Jin had put the wheels in motion that led to me losing everything. Then, as if finally putting his feelings into words, Lars muttered,
全てをジンに背負わせる。この戦争を終わらせるために。
There was no mistaking what he had said.
Heihachi bastard still's alive.
やはりいくら考えても覚えが。今ここで和美殿との約束果たそう。豪輝というあの男、なぜ和美のことを。
Let's get an answer.
豪輝と名乗った男の行方は現在追跡中です。
奴はわしと和也を殺めると言っておった。必ず和也のもとへ向かうはずだ。 ジンはどうなった？
それが部隊は全滅した模様です。
全滅じゃと？所詮その程度だったということか。大きなるものが現れ、和也のもとへ向かう。そしてジンの線が断たれた。なるほど、これは面白い筋書きができそうじゃ。今すぐ全世界にわしが死んだという情報を流せ。大会も中止じゃ。
Genie element of surprise.
He's alive? That was the first thing I thought when I saw Jin Kazama. I took the opportunity to quietly pocket a screwdriver.
Ooh.
The man who had stolen everything from me lay before my eyes.
Yeah, if you're gonna kill him, now's the time.
An opportunity like this may never present itself again.
But you'll never be the same, dude.
俺もジンを殺してやりたい思いは同じさ。だがこの戦いを終わらせられるのはこいつしかいないんだ。
It was as if Lars could read my mind.
And see the
He
screwdriver.
explained that when Jin woke up, he would try to use Jin's power to put a stop to all the fighting. All I could do was nod in agreement.
偵察部隊から報告。予測通りターゲットは G 社のミレニアムタワーに向かったとのこと。また三島財閥当主死亡の方により G 社の勝利は確実だと世界中が沸き立っております。
ここまでは狙い通りじゃな。例の準備はできておるか。はい。鍵となるのは豪気よ。和也とて奴相手ではデビル化せざるを得まい。
映像を全世界に流す準備はできております。
和也がデビルであることを暴いた映像を流せば G 社の信用も地に落ちる。
Smart.
その上で和也を葬れば世論は三島財閥に一気に傾くじゃろう。ドクター・アベルが残した最強兵器がわしの勝利を世界へ轟かせるのじゃ。和也よ、豪気者とも消し去ってくれる。
Heihachi Mishima is dead.
Has Heihachi Mishima's death signaled the end of the war?
来たか。無駄だ。貴様らでは太刀打ちできん。屋上まで案内してやれ。
Way to save your men.
I was just thinking.
死に場所を己で選んだか、三島和也。
貴様を葬る場所を選んだだけだ。殺す前に一つ聞いておく。貴様なぜ母のことを知っている？八条家の名残か何かか？
かつて和美殿には命を助けられた。ただそれだけのこと。その借りを今返す。
では見せてもらおう。その力どれほどのものか。貴様だがこれで終わりだ。
それがウヌの真の力か。面白い。心ゆくまでしようぞ。
豪気、誠に和美を知っておったのか。
三島和也がデビル化した映像、複数のカメラで捉えました。
とはいえ和美はもういない。全てを終わったこと。最終承認システム起動。
Oh, so he's gonna fire a bunch of lasers from space. Space lasers.
They've survived explosions before.
これで世界にわしの勝利が轟くのじゃ。
I couldn't take my eyes off the live broadcast. Next to me, Lee and Lars barked orders frantically, desperately trying to verify whether the images were a hoax or not. The demon on screen was unlike anything I'd imagined. No, it was something much more horrific. The devil incarnate.
The demon-like creature you see on your screens is apparently Kazuya Mishima, said to be controlling G Corporation from the shadows. World leaders are currently debating whether to believe.
The reports just in that the creature has been subdued by the Mishima Zaibatsu.
I'd long assumed this war was between humans. That my family, my hometown, had been razed to the ground by people.
That's a cool image.
Ho esaudito le tue richieste. Ora non posso fare altro.
世界の覇権はすでにわしの手に落ちた。貴様らはもう不要だ。
We've yet to confirm whether the footage you're seeing is real. If it is, however, it would seem the Mishima Zaibatsu is on the side of justice.
Public opinion is turning against us. We're running out of options.
問題ない。最後に笑うのは俺だ。
Is he blasting that laser?
That'd be pretty cool. Yep.
Nice.
何事じゃ。
衛星兵器が地球へ向け落下しています。
Well, that'll turn public opinion against you.
Down its own satellite.
Look, there it is.
It's really fallen.
どういうことじゃ。
We have to get out of here. Move! Move! The Mishima Zaibatsu satellite has crash landed. Scenes of chaos unfolding.
まさか、カズヤ。イハチ、貴様は俺を超えられん。
Because you're both bastards.
The Mishima Zaibatsu faces intense scrutiny from around the world. With recent events brought to light, anti-Mishima sentiments have grown around the world.
当主、もはや三島財閥を立て直すことは。
おのれ、カズヤ。
Yep, so much for that last laugh.
あの時からだ。
貴様のせいで母さんは。
Yeah. You shouldn't have treated your kid like shit.
全てはあの時。
Or killed your wife.
That too. Like, I want him to lose. It's not that I want the other guy to win, but I want him to lose.
Yeah.
The Zaibatsu downing their own satellite weapon, destroying an entire town, left no doubt in my mind that this war was not between humans. The atrociousness of the fighting was inconceivable to the average person, and they soon forgot about Kazuya transforming into a devil, instead choosing to believe that the Zaibatsu were the antagonists. The concept of good and evil changed every day. What a world we live in. I was probably the only person on the planet not paying attention to the news. To me, evil was that which had taken everything away from me, and I couldn't rest until I put a stop to it. So I went directly to the Mishima Zaibatsu's headquarters and told them I would expose them for what they are. I knew I was risking my life just to be laughed off, but I couldn't stand by and watch the world descend further into chaos. Still, they paid me no attention. Bereft of all hope, I wandered around town aimlessly. But then, a man dressed in black approached me silently and told me that Heihachi had agreed to meet me. A few hours later, I was placed in a car and driven in a completely different direction than the Zaibatsu's headquarters.
Nice choice of words.
Yeah.
When I arrived at my destination, Heihachi Mishima was there waiting for me.
Mishima 家の真実を報道したいというのであれば、相応の情報は持ち合わせているのであろうな。
At that time, I had no idea why Heihachi had suddenly agreed to meet with me. His eyes latched onto mine, filling me with unshakable fear. I have delved deep into the history of the Mishimas from Jinpachi Mishima to the family's connection to Kazumi Hachijo. The year you declared the establishment of the Mishima Zaibatsu was the same year your wife Kazumi passed away, and that your son sustained terrible injuries from falling off a cliff. To me, that sounds like one hell of a coincidence now, doesn't it?
Oh? なるほど。ただの記者ではなさそうだ。よかろう。これから話すこと、そのすべてを世界に公表する。その約束が果たされるなら、わしがすべてを語ろう。
Yeah.
At that time, I had no idea why he wanted me to reveal everything on his behalf. But I was getting so close to the truth I'd long fought to uncover that I couldn't turn down this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The devil's blood in Kazuya and the blood of Kazumi's family, the Hachijos, remains shrouded in mystery. I listened closely to every word, each step inching closer to the truth.
あやつがわしの父、ジンパチの道場に来たのは、まだ年半もいかぬ少女の頃じゃった。共に汗水流し、武道に明け暮れる中、つまりライバル。武道とは、真に共に己を追い込む孤独な世界。和美は次第に、わしにとって唯一無二の存在となっていった。息子の和也も生まれ、わしらは幸せじゃった。特に和美は、和也のことを目に入れても痛くないほど溺愛しておった。すべての歯車が狂ったのは、貴様の言う通り、その年のこと。稽古中、和美が突然倒れおった。和美は信じられぬほどの高熱を出しており、急ぎ病床に寝かせたのだが、和美。
She tried to kill you?
じゃが翌日、熱が下がった和美は前日の出来事を覚えておらず、いつも通りの和美であった。それはまるで人格を2つ抱えた人間と共におるような感覚じゃった。そんな日が幾日も続いた。そしてある日、
So it's either kill or be killed.
貴様はいずれ世界を脅かす存在になる。
It's a convenient way to get him off the hook.
ゆえに今死を与えるのだ。
Do you ever think that maybe by bringing death upon him is what? Yeah.
Yeah. I was just thinking about that. I was like, this is one of those futuristic, self-fulfilling prophecy things.
まだわからぬか、なぜ我がこの家に嫁いだのか。
まさか。
我ら八丈家は貴様のような人間を消すために
Oh my God.
存在しており、その使命を今果たす。
Ooh.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
平八さん、よろしゅうおたら申します。いい子ね。月が綺麗ですね。
Kazumi.
I mean, they almost are making me believe that he cared.
I know, right?
Also, he has an epic mustache.
So that's how you killed your wife?
もともとわしを殺すために三島家に送られた女。ならば、花から殺す運命。
But why did you
An
drop
assassin from a young
Kazuya off
age.
a cliff? He was just an innocent boy.
和美の血を受け継ぐなら人間でないと考えた。落とせば死ぬであろう崖に落とし、生きて戻れば人間でないということ
And
に
if
な
you're
る。
proven wrong, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
そして奴は案の定それでは死ななんだ。
Salem witch trials.
今思えば、わしはあの時和也を
You're a
殺してお
heartless
くべきだっ
bastard.
た。もう足に残された道は一つ。すべての真実を語り、世に是非を問うことだけ。
You will be judged harshly.
I was gonna say, I judge you, heartless bastard.
貴様はわしを恨んでおるのだろう。
How do you know about that?
バカめ！貴様のことなどとうに調査済みじゃ。バックにラースたちがいることもな。
Let me go! Just let me know one thing! What does this war mean to you?
Everything.
Dick.
When I came to, I was on a wharf with Lars. I had no idea where I was or what he was doing there. Lars said he'd received a message from the Zaibatsu telling him to come here. He bundled me into his car and then took me back to Violet Systems. As we drove back, Heihachi's words ran through my mind over and over. Why did he let me interview him like that? Why did he leave everything to me? And what was that mournful look in his eyes? Question upon question whirled through my mind, but not a single answer.
戦いとは最後にどちらが立っているか、それだけのこと。行くとするか。
Everything went down only a few hours later. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Lee was fervently trying to ascertain Heihachi's whereabouts. Eventually, his spy satellite spotted him and transmitted a picture to us. I stood there in shock. The man I'd spoken to was somewhere unbelievable.
In a volcano.
Hmm. わしと貴様にとってはふさわしい場所。決着をつけるとするか。貴様をここで終わらせる。
Come on, dude.
Ooh. He doesn't even need to go into his devil form.
Oh.
Oh.
He is like Cyclops.
Cyclops doesn't have 3 eyes.
No, they got like that one eye inside. And it shoots lasers. You go by the X-Men thing.
Cyclops doesn't have 1 eye. He's got 2 eyes.
They shoot lasers.
Yeah.
See? Traditional Cyclops, 1 eye in the center of your forehead.
Okay, so traditional Cyclops.
X-Men Cyclops, shoot lasers from your eyes.
Okay.
He's the hybrid.
Yeah.
Come on, kick his ass.
You waited too long.
Whoa. Come on, Devil Jin, let's do it.
Who's the devil Kazuya?
Finish him.
I was getting confused.
It's because like they got the same hairstyle.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody else has different hairstyles, but those two have the same. His devil form is pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he looks fierce. That's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
But did it work?
Nope, didn't work.
Nothing works.
Throw him into the lava.
Throw him off a cliff into lava. It would be poetic.
Fight.
Come on, Kazuya.
Solutions are grounded here.
No, come on.
Yeah, you all don't die. We're just gonna keep punching each other until one of us quits.
Could be a really long fight. Kazuya, you're not the little kid anymore.
Oh!
There we go.
Mm-hmm. Pushed his life force out of him.
There we go. Not saying I like you, Kazuya, but your dad was an asshole. And I blame him for you.
There you go. All comes full circle.
Throw him up.
That way, you didn't throw him off the cliff. He just fell off the cliff.
戦いとは最後にどちらが立っているかそれだけだ
I disagree with that.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I'm lucky to still be alive. No normal person could understand the reality of everything I've seen.
I believe that.
The truth of it all. Our world was dragged into a war between humans and devils. I'm just one person, but it is my job as a reporter to get the truth out, which is exactly why I'm writing this piece now. One day, the fighting will end. I just hope that when it does, the world will be at peace.
Oh, you framed it. I love you, Dad. That's so cute.
Yeah.
Yes. やはり G 社は戦争を止める気はないようだな。
はい、各地で侵攻を開始しています。
これが平八なき後の世界だ。そもそも世界にこの戦乱を引き起こしたのが貴様であるならば、これを収めるのもまた貴様の宿命。あとはお前しかいないんだ。
ああ、俺がやらねば。
Red cowboy boots?
デビルの力を持つ者として。カズヤは
Jin has the bangs.
俺が殺す。
That's helpful. Thank you for pointing that out.
That's what how someone helped me. And then Kazuya has the scar under his eye.
Huh. That was a
Good quote by Oscar Wilde. Yeah, because I was always confusing Jin and Kazuya as well, and someone said that, like, you know, the bangs are what helped for the hair sucks, since they both have like the updo thing or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you for that tip.
Yeah. So this was good. I mean, like, I know you hated Heihachi and found him irredeemable, but like I did like hearing that story, his side of it, and like I blame him for his son and like not giving his son a chance. Because, and just saying, like, you know, but like I get it, like, you know, if your wife like turned into a devil or whatever, like I mean, I would love you no matter what.
It's not me I'm worried about. It's our fur babies.
We didn't actually birth our fur babies.
I know. I dreamt once that I gave birth to puppies. It's really freaky. But I had that dream. No, to say that I find him irredeemable is harsher than the reality.
Okay.
I find him detestable. I really dislike him.
Yeah.
But I do think they tried to show a humanity because they did make it seem like he really loved his wife, and they had me there.
I think they did.
Up until the moment he killed her. Like when he was strangling her and he could have released her or he could have killed her, that's when I was like,
but
he lost me.
She was in her devil form, and he was, you know, he was like, she was trying to.
But he was beating her. So he could have let her go and they could have continued to fight. He chose to just end it and kill her. Now, she did say you could, like, this is where we get into tricky things with like the language. She said, release me. Death is a form of release. So
True.
in some ways, he granted her wish.
This is true. See, he was noble in the end.
No. That is far-reaching for Heihachi.
But also like so the wife was like sent there to kill Heihachi. Like, I mean, that's what it sounded like. Is that like she was there to keep an eye on him, and she said she had seen the future, and he like brings ruin to the world. So then she was like a good devil because like her clan or whatever is supposed to help the world in some way. Like, so I'm a little confused about that. Overall, I really liked the story, and it was good getting to know these characters some more. Jin wasn't really in it that much though. I mean, he was just like there, like, you know, passed out the entire time, and then he woke up at the end.
I think for me, and like this is where it gets tricky, right? That whole she had a fever. So like they seemed genuinely together and happy until she collapsed during that fight and got a fever. And it seemed like that was, I don't know, the devil in her awakening or whatever, which prompted this mission of hers, which was to kill him. But that also hinged on the fact that she saw the future and he was this horrible person. And yet, had she not gone devil form, maybe he never would have turned into that horrible person because his wife wouldn't have tried to kill him.
He wouldn't have killed his own son.
He wouldn't have thought his son was a devil.
Yeah.
And I think that, I don't know, that just kind of brings up a whole philosophical idea of like the future. And in all of these stories where like, I saw the future and I have to stop you from fulfilling it, is actually the thing that winds up fulfilling it. And becoming that self-fulfilling prophecy. And I think, you know, that's whatever you believe, if you do believe in like, I don't know, the mystical arts and like psychics and tarot card readers and like all that kind of stuff, there is something about, we're not necessarily meant to know that. So like once you take a peek into that world, are the actions you take forever changed by it? And if they are, then is not your future forever changed by it?
So who were your favorite characters in this one? For me, I think it was Lee and Nina. I think those are the two characters that I liked them at the halfway point, and they continued through the end there. There was, again, like you said, there was no really one character, though, that I was like rooting for. And, you know, it was just kind of this fascinating family dynamic, and each one sort of thinking that they've been wronged, or like, you know, they need to, you know, destroy the other one to help make the world a better place.
Lee and Nina are the two I'm probably most curious about. The two that seemed the most inoffensive and potentially the ones I could cheer for would maybe be Lars and like pink-haired Pixie.
Oh yeah.
Only because they hadn't done anything super evil yet. I'm sure there's more to the story. Give them a chance. Maybe they will in this world.
True. And like, I mean, Lars had a pretty good reason to be pissed off. I mean, he was just basically like born as an experiment.
Yep. That'll mess you up. I mean, like, that's the other thing. Like, Heihachi just completely effed up all of his offspring, which is why I blame him for their behavior. I'm not saying Kazuya is a great guy, but he probably wouldn't be such a horrible person if it hadn't been for his father. On the flip side of that, I have said before on this channel in different videos that like there comes a point in your life where you're kind of responsible for your own actions and healing the wounds of the past, whether they are inflicted on you by yourself or friends or family. Obviously, Kazuya did not do that hard work. So he's to blame for that. You know, we're gonna be fair to him on that one, but
it's a good thing that he didn't do that work, because it would have gotten all undone once he found out his mom had sent Akuma to kill him.
Which, yeah, I'm so all right. Katsumi saved Akuma's life. That's all Akuma would say.
Yeah.
I need to know more. That is not enough. Like, that could mean so many different things.
Yeah.
Like, you can save someone's life if, like, Akuma was, I don't know, suicidal for some reason, and Katsumi walked into his life and he's like, oh my god, the love of my life, I have a reason to live.
Mm-hmm.
She also was a devil with super badass powers and could have legitimately saved his life from a battle. I need to know more.
Yeah, I'd like to know more about that as well. And so, I mean, I'll be interested when Tekken 8 comes out, the story continuing with that.
Yep.
So I'll be interested to learn more about that. And then we've got some good lore videos for Tekken to check out there. And of course, any more Tekken suggestions, go ahead and leave those in the comments.
Yes, please.
Any favorite moments that stuck out for you in this?
I liked the symmetry of Kazuya throwing his father off a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
I think I also just liked that they basically chose the Star Wars 3 planet to have their end of the father-son fight on. It felt very, very Star Wars-esque to me to be surrounded by lava on the rocks as they try to kill each other. I do like bringing in the story of Katsumi. I like the flashback scene between her and Heihachi.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the other moments that I particularly found fascinating was when it felt like father and son were playing chess against each other, but like their playing board was the global media and the PR.
Yeah,
and
that was kind of cool.
It was one corporation against the other. Because I think to me that felt very real life. Like, you're not going to have the super jacked 80-year-old trying to murder his son.
That's a devil.
There are some things in here that are, suspend your disbelief and enjoy the world of fantasy,
Mm-hmm.
which I do. But it was those moments of them kind of watching the news and figuring out what their next move was in the PR battle to win the ultimate war that I was like, that's what I imagine, like, multimillionaire father-son corporation people doing against each other. In all my vast knowledge of what that looks like in the real world.
Yeah, and also like maybe think of like the void of power and just how anyone that seeks, most people that really seek that kind of power are just not going to be good people. Want that kind of control, want that kind of power. Generally speaking, I mean, there's some that could prove me wrong. But
I think ultimately from what we often see in these stories, whether they are artistic stories or real life stories, and most art is a representation of real life, is power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. But I think people often get on the path of craving power because they are trying to prove themselves. And the reality is, if you're trying to prove yourself to someone else, it's because you haven't proven yourself to yourself and realize that's enough. And so usually these people are trying to fill a void in their life that sadly will never be filled. Because power does not fill that void or that need to be loved and have a fulfilling life. So,
I mean, and even Jin, in trying to, do good and save the world or whatever, he had to destroy the world first, and all the people that had to suffer for that. So it's like, it's one of those things. I think we brought up in something else. It's like, what are you really saving if you're, if this is the destruction that you're causing? I mean, I guess people will rebuild their lives, and but I mean, say that to the person that had lost their wife and their son, and yeah, I mean, so it's sad. It's a good story. It deals with some heavy stuff, and family relationships and dynamics, and the PR game as well. So
and also I also love the line that I didn't love the line, but I loved the thought that it struck in me when Heihachi said, all that matters is who's left standing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the whole story is told from the perspective of a journalist who was a father and a husband who's left standing with nothing. So I loved that juxtaposition. And then also the fact that I just wholeheartedly disagree with that, because if that were true as a concept, that all that matters is if you're left standing, then we as a society wouldn't so often worship martyrs. In whatever fashion that takes, whether it's a political martyr or an idealistic martyr or a religious martyr, it's like spanning the ages, humanity has always incredibly respected the person who so believes in their values that they're willing to die for it. Side note to that, though, we're not in love with people who are willing to kill everybody else for it.
Yeah.
So like there's a major distinction there that sometimes gets blurred and should never be blurred. But, you know, I think as a society, when somebody, you know, like look at Braveheart as a movie and William Wallace, who's willing to die and die horrifically for what he believes, but he dies screaming like freedom, and all of us in the audience are like, yeah, man. You know, I think and like Gladiator, like so many of these movies that we see, it's somebody who's willing to die for such a good cause, whether it's love or freedom or whatever. So it's, you know, to say all that matters is being left standing. No, and that doesn't necessarily put you on the side of good, and it doesn't necessarily win you public opinion.
That was really good about you pointed out about the journalist, and he was the one left standing. And yeah, embarrassed to say that I did not catch that. So that was good insight there. Beautiful.
Thanks.
You'll let us know what you thought about this down below in the comments. And like I said before, more suggestions for stuff to check out for Tekken. We want to continue with this. And if you want all of our Tekken reactions, we got playlists down below in the description of this video, as well as a link to our Patreon. We can get early access to videos like this.
And it's ad-free.
And it's ad-free. Thanks so much for checking out our reaction for Tekken 7, the full story. But just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.